know, I'm to be seen and not heard, like a kid. You know what I mean?
And that's what they want. That's that's what it makes it seem like, is that they want the town to
say,
be.
"Don't feed the townies." You know? Fuck. It's crazy though. Yeah, they want you to be seen and not heard. To stay away and don't interact with these kids because you might harm them in one way or another. Like you're gonna corrupt their mentality by your low class level of thinking or something. Yeah. It's like I don't know.
I'm originally from Canton, Ohio, so like I'm from like the Northeast Ohio area, and I've always had an issue with like Oberlin College's way of like treating class issues. I think that Oberlin College as a whole is really insensitive to class issues, and it's an uncomfortable place for people in the underclass in general, is my feelings. I don't want to speak for everybody. But my first year, there was this one incident that always stuck in my mind. I was like walking through Wilder Bowl, and like OPERG was canvassing, and they had their clipboards out, and this girl came up to me and like so earnest and so Oberlin in her approach, and she was just like, you know, do you want to sign my petition? Do you realize that there is poverty in Ohio? And I just looked at her and I was like, honey, I am poverty in Ohio. I was like, I'm not, what? Like, what? I was just so like overwhelmed that people like come here and have no idea what they're entering. And they just think like Oberlin is this little town in the middle of nowhere, but like it's not in the middle of nowhere. Like like Northeast Ohio is a thriving area, and there's a lot of cities around here, and there's a lot of, you know, Oberlin in my opinion is not much different than where I'm from, Canton or Akron or Cleveland. Like it's a much smaller scale, but the kinds of people that live here, it's the same kinds of people. And like I guess like if you come from like the Bay or Manhattan or whatever, like it's a completely different thing. But that's why like when people say like this like trespassing list is like a race issue, in some ways yes, I guess, but in other ways it's a broader class issue that Oberlin has no idea how to handle, and it's really frustrating. But it's also the school's way of protecting themselves, because you see those like yellow slips all over campus. They don't talk about student-on-student violence or students stealing from other students. It's always a townsperson and a student interaction, and that's the way of the college protecting themselves. They can't constantly report crimes that are happening with students. It makes them look bad. So if they can create this list and make it look like we are, you know, going after the people in this town that are committing crimes, then it makes it look like, you know, the students aren't, you know, involved in any kind of, you know, foul stuff.
For instance, the first time that I had ever been caught for trespassing, it was a drag ball. It was like 98 or 97, something like that. And me and my buddies went to the SCO to try to go to the drag ball, see what was going on. And we went, you know, around to the main entrance that's facing Wilder Bowl. And like, there's people at the door taking tickets. And they're like, no, you need a ticket, you can't come in. I'm like, oh, damn, I don't have no ticket. Looks like we're not going in. So we're hanging out, walking around the building and stuff, and some cats are leaving. And somebody was like, here, who wants a ticket? And I was like, sweet, I got a ticket now. Dude was like, have fun, take it. Dude said he wasn't going, so I got his ticket. So I was like, well, see you guys, I'm going in. I go back around to the entrance, try to use this ticket. And they're like, where'd you get that? You stole it. I was like, how am I going to steal the ticket? And they're like, you didn't have one a second ago. I was like, yeah, somebody who wasn't going just gave me their ticket. She's like, no. And then the security's like, well, where are you guys putting these tickets when you take them from people? And there were two students working the door. And they were like, we're taking tickets and we're putting them under this table in this box. There's no way you could have stole this ticket. And then one student even tried to go as far to vouch for me and make up some random story. Like, I saw him buy that in the coat room earlier. I was like, no, it's fine. I already told him somebody just gave it to me, you know, no big deal. But they're trying to accuse me of stealing this ticket, which was impossible. So they're like, you have to leave. I said, I'm not going anywhere. I have a ticket. I want to go in there and see what all the rave is about. And they're like, well, we're calling the police. So police showed up. They're like, Border, you got to go. I was like, I'm not going nowhere, man. I got a ticket. They're like, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. So they arrested me for trespassing. So I think that's like, if I can recall right, that's the first time I got put on the trespass list. And I had been on that list ever since, probably 18. Technically, if you're trying to walk through Tappan Square for any reason, they can arrest you for trespassing if you're on the list and if they want to be assholes about it. Every time it's been for trespassing. So I'm not allowed on 60% of the productive part of my town's property. So like I have to stay on that side of the town with all the other people like myself. There's people that probably live in this town that have probably been on that list for 10, 15, 20 years and, you know, forgot all about it. And if one day they happen to be on campus or something and something goes down, they will be charged with trespassing.
Even I work for the school, I'm an alumni. I don't know which houses are village and which ones are off campus. So, like, you could go to a party and legitimately think it's off campus, and it's not. It's owned by the college. It's village.
One of the times I got arrested, I said, man, you're racially profiling me. He's like, we're both white. How am I racially profiling you? I said, well, in your social class profiling me. I don't know. You're doing something, but it ain't right. You know what I mean? And they're just laughing about it. I said, but this is bullshit. You know damn good and well that you just came up to me, singled me out of all these people because you know for a fact I'm not a student. And what about these kids right now? They're sitting around with beers in their hands. You know, not that I'm trying to get other people in trouble, but what the fuck am I doing that's illegal compared to what's going on next to me? You know what I mean? And yeah, it's different social classes. It's black people, it's low-class white people. You know, they don't want anybody who's not associated with the college being around any college students. And it's for whatever reasons they have. Sure, some of them are legit. Some are just bullshit. But what about me? I'm going through this process through your school, and I got to go through this court process in the justice system. Like, there's laws put in place for people to abide by. Now, it doesn't matter what social class you're in, you still got to abide by those rules just like anybody.
Also, like, it's not fair to the students to give them this false impression of the world. Like, you can, you know, run around and do what you want and act, you know, foolish in public and, you know, and never be arrested. You can smoke pot in the middle of, you know, any grassy field and it's no big deal. Like, that's not the real world. That's not life. Like, you can't do that.
He's innocent because he's a student, and I'm guilty because I'm not a student. And then while I'm in the station, they're asking me what I was even doing on that side of town. I said, man, I can go wherever the hell I want to go. I'm a grown-ass man. What are you going to ask me why I was on that side of town? Like, that's fucked up. Like, you're socially segregating people like that. And that's what the trespass list is for. They're just trying to socially segregate people, keep kids safe. Because, sure, there's incidents in the past. That doesn't mean that there should be a list where you're blackballed into staying on a certain side of town or staying, you know, associating with your own kind. And you're not allowed to be around these people, you know. Asking me what I was doing on that side of town is just totally, that's bullshit level, man. But every single one is just, you're not supposed to be here, you're on a list, leave. So I'd get arrested for criminal trespassing. Like I said, it's not like I was starting a riot or breaking into some place or assaulting anyone or doing anything wrong other than I was in the wrong place. I wasn't supposed to be there technically. People
who live here are, there's no leniency, there's no cutting slack. Once you have an interaction with security or the police, they know you, and like then it's really easy for them to target people.
Real easy. When I went to go see my brother's graduation 3 years ago, I was trespassing because I wasn't allowed to finish chapel, but I wasn't going to not see him graduate.
We legitimately had to ask for permission to vote because our polling place was at Phillips Gym, and he was on the trespassing list. Like, this is Oberlin College we're talking about, and like, if you're on the trespassing list, you have to ask for permission to vote. You know, take me to a county jail and make me bond out for such a petty misdemeanor, which is a $200 fine, if that. But they'll take me to jail, keep me in there for 2-3 hours before they ride me to county jail, and then make me bond out as to where anybody else gets caught doing anything. Not anybody else. I mean, a lot of people go through the same thing, but for such a petty crime, they usually just make you sign a paper and let you walk out the front doors of the police station and give you a court date. But it's like they have fun when they get something like that. She's like, well, to be honest, there's not a whole lot of reason for you to be on campus. And I'm thinking, like, there's an Olympic-sized swimming pool, there's a concert hall, there's Finney Chapel, there's a movie theater that's now owned by the college, the Oberlin Inn is owned by the college, that used to be my watering hole, my high school reunion was at the Oberlin Inn, I wasn't allowed to go because I'm on the trespass list. You know, so I couldn't go to my 10-year class reunion because I'd be trespassing. Well, when you end up paying all your fines and all that stuff, yeah, I don't know where the money goes in the community that comes through the court system, but they probably use it on these LED Christmas lights that they hang up every year, and giant potted flower baskets that hang off the corner of every street in town. I mean, the law is the damn law. Like, regardless of whether you're a well-off college student, as bad, you know, or if you're broke as fuck, working your ass off and can barely pay your bills. Like, the law is the law. So if one person's going to get charged with something and not the other, how is that fair at all? That's just going to create, like you said, animosity and resentment towards certain institutions. The law doesn't apply to certain people.
We're all living in the same town. There shouldn't be two totally different justice systems for two separate social classes of people. If they want it to be separated and they want to keep certain social classes of people away from each other, then put up walls. put up fences with barbed wire around every goddamn building that's owned by the college, and put blockades at the end of every fucking street that's college owned, and have guards there so that if you don't go to the college, or if you're not a student or an employee, then you don't have any right to go down there. Make it known. Don't have it be a secret.
Yeah, if my parents wanted to play there, I'd people would be on the trespass list. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't want to say it's racism, but it actually kind of is. Like, if security sees a group of black people walking and they don't know they're college students, they'll automatically go to assume and stop them. I bet you even if they were college students, they'll still try to stop them. But if you see a group of white people walking, they're not going to think twice about trying to stop nobody.
Pretty much.
Even with the police, too, that's just...
it's Oberlin. Like, they're always going up to, like, the little, like, ghetto sides of town, always just rolling through there. So there's, like, really nothing's going on.
It's sort of uncomfortable, like, when, like, the elderly white people are around town, they see a group of us, they seem like they get scared, like we're about to take something from them or something. It's like, when nobody's even thinking twice about you. Like,
majority of the students, like, they're chill with, like, everyone in town. I would say, like, maybe a few are the, like, OGs, group of black kids just sitting right over there, about to walk past them, or trying not to make eye contact.
The way I feel about that is that's going to be, like, pretty much everywhere you go. So,
I mean, it's just pretty much like a given. Like, there's some kids taught through, like, Histories, like, a black dude, bad guy, don't really have, like, rights. Like, they're grown up, like, they're taught that, like, by their parents or something like that, or, like, even by the school system. They'll be like, like, even by the school system, they'll just be like, yeah, this is what happened, and they'll just believe that it's like black people shouldn't have rights, and it's sort of ridiculous. Like, at this point in life, like, you should understand that everyone's equal. Like, we're all humans. That's it. Only thing different is like skin tone.
The only thing I would say about some college students is like they just like act like they're better than you. Like, they look down on you. Like, why are you here? And actually, we've been here our whole life, so why are you here?
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, you should give me some information.
I don't want to say you're a superior, but you are a little bit higher level than I am right now. I'm still in high school. You graduated college and stuff like that, so I sort of look up to that. So I was like happy that you even thought about asking people from town.
Oberlin is a college town, literally. It's not
that's
just...
the first thing people say when they, like, I go to JBS, we have people from all over Lorain County. First thing they say, Oberlin, oh, that's a college. That's a whole bunch of gays and weird people. Like, that's how Oberlin is perceived by a lot of people around here.
Like, it's not even a problem. Like, if you're gay or weird, it's just, you're coming to school here, just be yourself.
Yeah, I don't even care about that. It's just, like, why are we perceived as a college town instead of just Oberlin, like the city?
I guess something happened at work, so yeah, fired, so I really can't go to the facilities anymore. When I was like a little kid, I was able to go to like the track just to run around, have some fun with the family. Now it just can't happen anymore.
And I can't really be mad about it because college students need jobs too, but like, I need a job too. Like,
I can't really get out of town. I don't have a car.
Exactly. There's nowhere
gotta
else
work in town.
There's nowhere else for us to work. The college students got all the jobs.
Yeah, my aunt way back in the day could work there in food services, and they would like, college is pretty generous there. Like, they feed you and make sure you have a meal like before and after work, so it's all good. And it's like real good food. So I would say college students should jump on that. It's like you get a good meal and some money.
Really, really hard. Like, unless your parents are like one of the professors and know the people that own one of the shops, it's really hard to get a job.
Yeah, and then there's the whole thing. It's like, hey, why can't you get a job? Because I don't have any experience. Why don't you have any experience? Because I can't get a job.
My dream job would, one, be everybody else's dream job, be a professional athlete. But in the real world, I would like to be sitting right here, owning my own business, operating on my own terms, like a sporting goods store.
Nice. I would say my dream job, like, since I'm doing web and graphic, like, I would love to operate in a graphic design place. I plan on retiring and then coming back to Oberlin. If I actually leave Oberlin, come back here, and I want to have like an arcade. I want to own an arcade here because it'll give back to the community. It's like even the college students can come. We got the park down on Park Street and stuff. We call that LA because like joke, little Africa, because that's all where you see like all the black kids at. Just always there playing basketball. All you see is just black kids.
You and a few white ones.
Few.
4 or 5.
Like, for the college students, some will go there, like in the summer for the skate expo that I was in last year.
Want to check out some more information? You guys come to Oberlin Public Library Wednesday, 6:30.
Child care, transportation.
Dinner, all those are available.
And if you want to learn even more, go to
OneTownCampaign.com. OneTownCampaign.com.